I don't know how well you guys can hear me. Second. Um, Welcome everybody. Yeah, we will be starting pretty shortly. Let's just get a bottle of water. Make sure and then get going. Alright. Yeah, that's a lot better. It might actually be too loud. Guess we'll see now. Alright. So, like I said, I'm gonna go grab my bottle of water, and I'll be right back. Alright, fantastic. I'm back. Okay. Alright, so 1 second. Alright, now that I've muted that volume there. So here we go. Let's start off today by deciding what genre. My bottle of water is more like a bottle of ice. No. Alright, so yeah, let's decide what genre we're gonna be doing. So if you guys have any suggestions, I was thinking we could do like a simple first-person shooter, simple third-person shooter. Just because that's pretty easy to set up in a short amount of time. We'll be streaming about 2 hours, until about 10 o'clock my time. I don't know. So in exactly about 2 hours, I will be finishing off today's stream, and then I'm thinking maybe on Thursday or Friday we do another one. I guess it depends. We'll see how that goes. So if you guys have any suggestions for genre, I'd love to hear them. Can the camera go from first? Yeah, that's pretty. That we can do that. I think I've actually set up a. I think I've done that before. Um, yeah, we can do that. That's pretty to set that up as well. All right, let me just get this bottle of water opened. Bottle of ice, I mean. Yeah, it's definitely. It's very easy to actually switch. There is actually a tutorial on my channel, but we can do that in this case as well. If I remember correctly, there should be one. All right, I literally got no water from that. So then let's go from third person because that gives us the third person blueprint template thing gives us the animations and everything that we need. So yeah, we're gonna start with that then. All right, so let's create a project. Let's get some of this going. There's some really cool things you could do, like there's orthographic camera views that are pretty cool to do. I can show you the guys that are the little practice round that I did before this. While this loads up, I'm going to show you the little practice round thing that I did. It's not a lot, but it's what I could do in about 2 hours. So there they all storm towards me, then they wait a random amount of time. This is an orthographic view, by the way. Then we have some shooting going, reloading, all the main systems. Animations are still a little bit glitchy, but I don't do animations, so that explains the glitchiness of the animation. Also, it's quite difficult to aim like this without. See, it still goes a bit to the side because of the way that the animation is made. As you can see, his barrel is not pointed at the mouse all the time, so that we'll have to fix up. But all these lines are basically where I've shot what's gone through what. So this is what I've set up in about 2 hours. And what you can have is something that changes the camera as soon as you scroll into him. So this type of camera is called orthographic camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't support live shadows, but you can basically fake this. But the cool thing about this camera type is it adds like a 2D effect. So yeah, that's this little demo showcase. God, my PC is freaking out while it's trying to load the other thing. Alright, so while this loads, let's get that loaded. Let's see what the mouse will. Cool. That's alright, so almost done loading. It's all being loaded from a hard disk drive, so it's a lot slower than usual. I'm just running out of space on all my other hard drives and solid states. So far the AI in that little tech demo doesn't do much except for find where you are and go to it. Alright. Load it up. So let us begin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're basically going to create a completely new set of blueprints. I don't want to use any of the. I basically just want to use the content. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. Need to change that layout quick. Off. That's gonna bother me. Alright, so yeah, like this side. Back to the main screen. Alright, so yeah, what I want to do is I just want to use the things that are here, but not in the sense that you'd think. I want to just use the level, I want to use the animations and the character and what we have here so far basically. So what I also want to do quick is just remove these walls. We don't need them. Change this to about 2 by 2 by 1. Great. Light source, movable. We'll do some proper shadows. Just gonna press build. Alright, so while we wait, let's talk about what we're gonna do. So we're gonna first set up a character, a complete character, brand new in a sense. We are going to then give him some sort of movement. We're going to set up his movement capabilities, and we're going to set up the double camera system. So let's get that going. So we're going to save. I'm going to make a new folder here and just call this live 07082017 because that's today's date. Alright, and here we're going to create a couple of folders. The first one I'm going to create is blueprints, and we're just going to be working in here for now. So we're going to make a new folder called character. So this is our player character in a sense. And here we're going to create a couple of things. So the first thing we're going to create is a blueprint class of character. Call this main player character. Alright. Save. There we go. Then we're going to need one more thing. We're going to need a player controller and call this main player controller. Alright, and that's basically, I think, it that we need here. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is you need to go to Window, go down, click on World Settings. A little screen will somewhere pop up, and that's what you're going to be using. We're going to need to edit our current game mode override, and we're going to say game mode. Which one is the one that lets us edit things? There we go, third person game mode. If you did the steps of selecting that, otherwise we can just create one as well. Blueprint, and here we go, game mode base, and this we're going to call this main game mode. There we go. So we'll just create a new one. So we're going to open that up first, and we're going to change the things that we need to change immediately. Alright, this opened up on my screen. Let's drag that out. So let's see, what do we need to change? Well, the game session will stick as is. Game state will stay as is. The player controller will be our main player controller. The default pawn will be our main player character. And it is pausable. Alright, fantastic. So we're going to compile. Now, I usually do this. I click on this little drop down, say save and compile always. So it always saves because Unreal is not as stable as a lot of people assume it to be. So it does crash a lot. So make sure to save your game. Alright. So Control Shift S saves everything. So now that we have done that, we can select it in our world settings. And here we go, main game mode. So we're going to save that again and go back to details. That's the basic part done. Let's see. Alright, so is everybody up to speed or should I wait a bit? I usually always make my own game mode because it's a pain to edit shit. Alright, while I wait for you guys to respond, I'm going to try and just I need this post process volume. We can make this bigger by 2, 2, 2, whatever. I don't really care where this goes. What is this? Light? No, we don't need light mass importance. Alright, so saving that. Alright, so no new questions, so I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to assume that I can carry on. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go to main player character. So this is what the player sees. So let's get that sorted. So first of all, if you're using the default UE stuff, then your character is about 1.8 meters tall. So you can change this to about 92. the half height of the capsule, and the radius is 34. That's pretty fine. Now, when we go down to mesh, we're going to select the skeletal mesh of SK Mannequin. And remember, we made the half height 92. So we can move him down minus 92. This will put him almost at head height and exactly at foot height. So we can actually also do this minus 91.8 because then it will move it just off the top. It's useful if you're doing Unity though, only. Well, sometimes, but that's fine. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is, as you can see, this little blue arrow is actually indicating where the front of our character is. So we actually need to rotate this mesh. Press E and you can rotate him 90 degrees. Press compile, click on the mesh again. We can select the animation class of third person NMBP, and he has now full-on animation that is already predefined. So the thing about this is you can technically then bring this down back to 88, and it should be just fine. So this would be minus 87.8, and that way he'll fit, but only if you're using this animation blueprint. If you're making your own, obviously you're going to put the height of your character in there as take your height. So let's say if your character is 2 meters tall, divide that by 2, and that is your half height of the capsule component. Now, the capsule component isn't what decides your main hitbox. This is like your base hitbox, but you can create a system whereby your raycasts actually detect what bone they hit. So this is mostly used for just height and width. So usually I just put it around arm length because you can always put your arms inwards to decrease how wide you are. I keep doing motions with my hands like you guys can see them. Alright, so now that we have our character mesh, we need to add a couple of things. So we're going to have 2 different camera types. So let's try, I'm going to try 3 different camera types. So the first thing we're going to need is a camera, add component, and camera. We're going to attach this camera to the mesh, and in the parent socket we want to grab his head. Find his head, there it is. Alright, so I'm going to reset where the camera lays. Change the scale down so that we can see it better. Oh my goodness, 0.5. Great. So we're going to turn this 90, obviously. Turn it 90 this way, just so that that little eyepiece is looking up, just like a real world camera. There's another way you can do this and actually add eyes to him and attach the camera to the eye sockets, but I'm not going to do that right now. So first thing, I'm going to turn off the real time so he stops moving. And this. Okay, so this is for snapping. So if you take his head like so. So here's the interesting thing. What we're about to do might not work. Well, the thing that I want to do might not work because of a certain... Okay, as you can see now, there's a head bob because it's attached to his head, and his animation is playing whereby he's bobbing his head a little bit. So if we were to turn real time back on, that's what the camera is seeing. There is obviously a little bit of stabilization, but this is mainly what the camera is seeing. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I just want to do one thing. Okay, that's a lot better. Now that I'm not going completely insane without music. Alright, so unfortunately I can't play the music on the stream because I'll get copyright striked, but that's just the life. Alright, so let's carry on. So here we've created the first camera. Now we're going to call this FPS camera main. So now what we're going to do is we need to find the auto activate and make sure that is on. So this means that when the game starts, the first person camera will be enabled. You can obviously change this. The next thing you want to do is you want to add another component to the mesh, and you need to add a thing called a spring arm. Now, the spring arm is basically like a spring arm. We're going to duplicate the camera with Control W and call this third person cam, and we're going to attach it to the spring arm. So just reset all the positioning on it. Spring arm, we're going to turn by 90 degrees as well, so that it's behind our character. Then we can move this up and just over his shoulder. I don't know how you guys like your third person cameras, but I like mine just over the shoulder, and because I am right-handed, I prefer seeing things from the right shoulder. So if we place it here, the camera will always be in his shoulder. So there you go. You could actually even attach it to the shoulder. Let's see what happens if we do that. I've actually never done that. Looking, not clavicle. Actually, yeah, clavicle would do. Just reset that and that, and then turn off the real-time movement. Okay, clavicle might not be the right way to do this. Upper arm. Yeah, no, it will have to be clavicle. We need clavicle right. So clavicle right. Now, the only thing we really need to do now is just edit how this camera is facing. So there we go. 180, 170. We need to make sure it's nice and straight. So 165. Yeah, that should have worked. Okay, then we want to rotate it this way. Turn this back down to 0. I really don't like the fact that there's like a certain order you have to do this stuff in. 180, turn this to 165 as we have discovered. No, 175. 180. That's weird. Alright, that's fine. But then we want to move it just a little bit this way and compile. So if we press play, that's our first person camera. Message retracted. Sorry, I didn't see it in time, but so let's just change the camera to this one as the auto activate. Turn this one off, compile, and play. Alright, yeah, no, so attaching it to the shoulder is not a good idea. So let's detach that spring arm, because that's going to make me go insane. Refresh that all. Turn this 90 degrees. Why is... I see. Alright, then we're going to put it up just by a shoulder. We're going to put it a little bit higher and tilt it 5 degrees up. Alright, fantastic. So if we compile and play, there's our camera view. So now we can just play with it, move it a little bit more. Play. And there. So now we can move it down. Basically, you can just keep on playing around with it until you get it in the sense that, in the way that you like it. Alright, so I kind of like it there, but it is a little bit too far away. So we changed the target arm length. The target arm length obviously decides how close the camera is to the point that you're placing it. Alright, now we can probably put it closer onto the shoulder. There we go. So there's a nice little third-person camera. So this is also going to use the control of that. Fantastic. Now, I do want to add one more camera. I'm just not sure how well this will work. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to actually duplicate this spring arm completely and this camera. So this is actually the ortho spring arm. Alright. Alright, I don't know how to type apparently. And this is ortho view cam. Alright, so the reason I'm duplicating it is because I want to quickly try one little thing. Oh, alright. Okay, I see. Alright, so that was not attached for some reason. There we go. Now it's attached. So now I actually want to move this down. What's going on? Attach it to the mesh. There we go. That's why it wasn't working. So strange. It's not resetting. Okay, attach it to the mesh. This is very strange, but alright. Alright, no, it's fine. We're not gonna do the ortho view because it's gonna be a hassle now. Alright, so now we have our cameras. Let's just make sure it's still there. Fine, perfect. Spring arm. Why is nothing moving? What the hell? It's moving here. Alright, let's just reload the little blueprint. There we go. Now it's doing things. Ah, goodness. So needed more on his shoulder. Fantastic. Could move this a little bit more. Let's just figure out where we want it. Perfect. I like it there. I'm gonna keep it just that. Oh, we went up a couple of viewers and dropped back down. Alright. So mouse. Right, we're in a game. Alright, so now that we have our little character set up, let's get him moving. So first of all, remember, his name is main player character. So we can close the game mode. Now we can open up the main player controller. Now, I usually do all of my input in the controller. It does take a little bit more time to set up, but it's a lot better. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click in the event graph, and the first thing we need to do is we need to get the control pawn. Get player. There we go. Get player pawn. So we're going to get the player pawn, and what I want to do is actually want to cast it to our main player character. Now we can technically just do this as a pure cast. A pure cast will not throw the error if it does fail, but so you only use it for things that you know will not fail. But since the controller spawns before the character, it will never fail. So what we do is we now have to drag this, and we're going to promote this to a variable. Now this is our main player reference. Now the reason we're doing this is so that we don't have to constantly call get player pawn cast to main player character. Once we spawn, it gets set, and it is set. So the next thing we can do is we can create a new graph and call this input graph. So let's continue with that. So now that we have the input graph, thinking about it, since we're not doing that, I can actually close that window now and drag this over here so I have a much bigger view of what's happening. Alright, fantastic. Let's increase our view here. The compiler results we don't need. So on the input graph, let's set up our main movement. So if you did the third person example thing that they have, you can click on settings and open up the project settings. There it is. And if you go down to input, you can see they've actually set up a couple of axes for us. So this is why I don't use the blueprint from before, because it has a bunch of useless stuff that we don't need. And it does it all in the main player character. You can do it there, but I prefer to do it in the controller. So what do we need to do first? Well, we need to first define the action that's going to create the call to move our player. So we know that one of our axes here is called move forward, and one is called move right. Move right. No. Move right. There we go. So these two axis events will get fired every time. Technically, they'll be fired every frame because they're axis events. Now, this axis value goes from -1 to 1. When you're not pressing anything, this axis value will be 0. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our player reference, drag this off, and we're going to say get location. Now, the reason we need the actor location is because we want to get his forward. Oh, sorry, not that. We need the rotation. My bad. Get player. Get rotation. I always forget. There we go. Get control rotation. Then get forward vector. Now we're going to get this twice, and one is called the right vector and one is called the forward vector. That obviously makes sense, seeing as we have move right and move forward. So I'm going to disconnect this for a second. Grab this, control rotation, get the forward vector, and here I'm going to drag this out again. Scroll down, add a rewrite node. Sorry, I just like to keep my things nice and neat. And here we're going to say add movement input. Now, the reason we wanted this forward vector is because we need a world direction of what we want to go to. And the scale value will be our axes. So there we go. So we can actually compile this and press play, and we can see we actually can already move forward. Great. So that's the first part done. Now all we have to do is click here, and here, and then Control W. Remember to hold Control when you do that, because that's multi-select for you. Alright, now we get the right vector, world location, direction, scale value, and target. Fantastic. Now we just sort out these nodes so that nothing gets lost. There we go. Fantastic. There's a cool little feature that you can actually hold over a line and see where it goes. I'm so used to looking at my right side now. Alright, so now that that is done, let's grab this, put it nice and neatly around here. I have hiccups again. I do not like getting hiccups. But then again, who does? So this is, press C to make a comment, and this will be our movement. Great. So if we click compile and play, we can now move left, right, left, back, forth. But we cannot rotate our camera yet. So that's the next thing we're going to be doing. So we're going to grab the player reference. Now I want to remember what the add rotation. Geez, I actually do not remember what the node was called. Give me 1 second. Let me quickly look it up so I don't lie to you. Oh yes, okay, that's what it was called. It's controller your input. Great, so now we're going to drag this out and say add controller your input. Now, yaw is your y-axis. So this is when we move our mouse left or right, which is our x-axis. So look up, right? No. Let's just check what it's called. Project settings. Input. So it's called turn. Why would they name it such stupid names? Anyways, turn. So here we go. Turn. Now axis, input axis turn. So when we do this, we want to add controller your input, and the value is that. So now we should be able to turn and run in a direction. Great, that's working. So let's make all these nodes nice and neat. Save. Now it's exactly the same as before, but this is input look up. Now the interesting thing about look up is it actually is usually reversed. So we are going to need to do one little thing. So this is add pitch, if I remember correctly. Add controller pitch. This is nice and small script. This is very beginner stuff. I prefer doing beginner tutorials because I don't know, it's nice to see new faces. So I'll show you the problem. Now I'm gonna drag my mouse. Okay, never mind, they fixed it. Previously in previous versions of this blueprint, they wouldn't actually do up and down in the right place. It would always be reversed. So it would be like the old GTA games where you'd start it up, try to look up, and your character looks down. Well, now that they fixed that, I'm happy. So this is, we can now drag this down a little bit just to here. Comment this, and this is our look around stuff. Great. Compile, save. Now the next thing we need to do is jump. So I believe we have a key for jump. Action events jump. Great. So pressed, jump. Oh yes, right. We actually need to get our player reference. The reason we always have to call the player reference is because the player character has this character movement component, and this is actually what drives the entire movement of the character. So that's the reason actually that we do that, is because we can't add that player movement onto the controller, but we can call the player and do it. So this is then just easy, jump. This is actually a pre-built function, so it's pretty easy to do. Just press jump. Now if we press play, we can jump, run around. Apparently we cannot jump on that box, but we can jump around. We can actually tweak our jump height. So let's quickly do that. Let me show you all the little movement things in here. So jump Z velocity, this is how high we jump. So we can bring this up to 1,000, and when we press spacebar, our character will jump 1,000 units, which is about 10 meters in the engine. Yeah, 100 units is 1 meter if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see, this is not 1 meter. Anyways, the gravity is bringing us down. So we can bring this up to like 10,000 if you wanted, and just jump straight up into the air. So that's how you can tweak it. As you can see, we're still going up. And because our jump velocity was so much more powerful, the gravity does take a lot longer to interfere with the jump. What the hell is going on with this ice? Alright, so as you can see, that's the jump movement. So let's put this up. Let's say we're in space or something. So we're going to jump 800. Now, braking, deceleration, and falling. This is when you are falling. This is basically how fast you'll slow down. So you can, in this sense, you can technically fly. So let's put this up to 100. Then if we run and press spacebar, nothing happens. Okay, maybe we need to, if we match it. Or maybe we have to... No. Okay, apparently that doesn't work. Okay, we'll just put this back down to 0. Now, air control is how much you can move. So if I take this down to 0, This is saying how much you can move while in the air. So if let me just get on top of this box quick. So as you can see, if I jump over here, I right now cannot move while I'm in the air, but I would be able to do something like this and say 1, and this will allow me to actually move in the air the same as on the ground, as you can see. So I can move any direction I want. So it all depends on what kind of game you're going for. So let's put that up. This is probably what I was thinking of, the friction. Are these float values? Is that why it's not doing what I needed to do? Let's try that. This should be it now. Yeah, as you can, it's a lot. It takes me a lot longer to fall down now because of the amount of friction that's in the air. So this allows you to create a more like floaty kind of feel for a game, which is I think what we're gonna go for here. Great. So the next thing is impart base velocity XYZ. Okay, I'm not sure what that actually means, but that's fine. So gravity scale, this is another way we can change things, is 0.2. This is going to influence how much gravity is in the atmosphere in a sense. So if we press 0, you'll see you jump a lot higher, so gravity is weaker. If you played the old James Bond games, you'll remember that cheat. So we'll keep this at 1. Now, mass is you can change how heavy your character is. Your crouched half height, so when you press C or your crouch button, whatever you want to make it, that is how much shorter your character will become. On land, you're always walking. On water, you're always swimming. Right, now, max height, step height is, this is the amount of units before that your character will see as a step. So we can step up onto 45 units. The angle that we can walk on is 44.76 degrees. So anything higher than that, we will not be able to go up as a ramp. Ground friction, max walk speed, so we can increase this, decrease it. When you crouched as well, you can change that. This will actually allow you to walk off ledges or not. So if you're making a game where you're basically just on ledges like this, see, I will not be able to walk off the ledge. So if it's a game where the bottom of the world is a void, the game will actually not allow you to walk off the edge. It will keep that little circle on the edge, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this will not allow me to go off edges, but I can jump off them. Alright, so let's put that back on. Now, what you can set it as well is that you can walk off ledges when you're crouching or not. So I'm going to put that on now. Max swim speed, fly speed, custom movement speed so that you can do things like climbing with. Now, this is all physics interactions. So yeah, there's plenty of things here, but the important ones are on the top that you'd actually use. There's things like can jump, can crouch. So actually, while we're thinking about it, let's add can. Here we go. We can crouch, jump, walk, fly, swim. You can change all of that. And we want to be able to affect navigation. We don't want to have the AI be able to walk through us. Alright, so we have that going. So that's the movement part done. What's next? Well, next we probably should... Oh yes, now we need to set up the changing of cameras. So this is jump up. That's not what I wanted to type. Jump. Okay, great. So now let's set up that camera switch. So I'm not going to set up an input for this, but if you're making a full-on game, you probably should go to settings, project settings once again. scroll down to input. Now you're gonna add it as an action mapping. It's not gonna be an axis mapping. So action mapping, and you're just gonna call this switch cam. Now this can be anything really. I'm gonna make it R on my keyboard. I'm also going to make it mouse wheel up, change camera. Okay. So first thing we're going to need to do is clear a little bit of space. It's going to take slightly more space than usual. So this is switch cam. So there we go. This is our input. When we press it, let's start with something simple. Let's just print a string. When we press the key, there you go. Hello, hello, hello. And scroll, hello, hello, hello. Perfect. So we know that works. So the next thing we need is actually, we're going to right click. We used this in the last stream, I believe. It was called a flip-flop. Now, a flip-flop basically does, it goes A, B, A, B, every time that this thing is pressed. So what we're going to do is now we're going to grab our main player reference and set active camera, active third person cam. And then we also need to do set active first person cam. So here is the kicker. So we have these two things. We actually need to do this twice. So here we go. We're going to set that there. So we can basically do it in the sense of when you click it, we're going to say set the active state of whatever we need to set. I'm going to actually disconnect this from here. I don't like it being there. So here we go, main player reference, copy that, connect it again. If you want to disconnect things quickly, just hold Alt on the keyboard and click on the node. So here we go, this is our switching camera. So let's think of how this works. So when we scroll up, it will become A. So the new active will become A here, but we're going to need this A again. So I'm going to make some nodes, drag this out, add a reroute node here, add another node there. Now here, we need to make sure that it's not A. Now, the reason I'm saying not A is because we need to set it to not active, obviously, if it becomes A. Now, on B, we can just link it into the exact same node. If you double click on a line, it will create one of these nodes, these little circular ones. So if we compile and press play, there we go, I pressed R, it switched the camera, and again, and again, and again. I scroll, there we go, the camera gets switched, and we can keep on running. The nice thing about attaching the camera to the head is it gives this wobble, which makes it feel a little bit more realistic. So we can just keep on running around. Okay, now remember, if you're using the camera and you're looking down, your guy will stop in this case, because what happens is as soon as you look down, so how the script works is it's trying to see which way is the camera looking. So the camera is looking forward. So now it's trying to inherit. See, so now when you're moving forward, it's moving the camera that way. Now when you look down, it's trying to move the camera down, but your player box is stopping you from reaching it. So you will not go anywhere. Now there's a couple of ways to fix that. So let's start with that. Actually, I want to try one more thing. Yeah, okay, so it does it on both cameras. So we need to scroll down and find. There we go. I don't want to inherit the pitch. Let's try that quick. Okay, our cameras might not need to use control rotation. Still trying to do it. don't inherit pitch. Still trying. Try that. Okay, so that won't do it at all. So take the camera. Now control rotation. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do it a different way. We're gonna actually enable that back. Pitch inherit yaw. Okay, great. So it will still do this where it doesn't move if you look straight down. Well, what we can do is we can fake it. This problem really does pop in a lot. There is a way to fix it, but it's very, I don't know, I don't like the way it's done. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna save, is a way to do it. Fine, I'll figure it out. What we can do is we can actually just lock it to a certain degree. So in our look around stuff, which is gonna need to have a little bit more space. I'm not gonna do it in this stream. Sorry guys, I'm a little too tired to do it in the stream. It's extremely hot. But next time I'll do it. I'll make sure to get everything sorted out beforehand, and then I'll get it going. It's very easy to implement. It's just clamping the angle that the camera is at. So all you have to do is you just grab the current camera angle and you clamp it. That's all. I'm not sure if there's any other way to define min-max heights. So let's create the next thing. So now that our character is sorted, let's create weaponry. Weapons. Now we need to create a couple of things. So we're going to create a master blueprint. So this is going to be called weapon master blueprint and weapon MVP. Now the master blueprint is like the key to every single weapon. It is not going to have anything special. This is going to define our weapon. So this is like creating a class. So what would we need for a weapon? Well, we would need a mesh. I'm going to use static meshes. You can use skeletal meshes, but I'm going to use static. And we actually need some sort of way to describe where the barrel of the gun is. I like to use arrows and really skinny ones, 0.2. So we've done that. Now we need to think of what would a weapon need, right? So we all know that a weapon would need a couple of things. So the first thing we're going to need is the weapon damage. Okay. Then we're going to need another one called weapon range. Then we're going to need weapon max clip. That's going to define how much ammo goes into one magazine. Then we can have weapon. You can have something like shooting speed. I'm not going to implement that this time, but there's a shooting speed, damage, range, clip, and then current ammo. What else would we need? I think that's basically it for the weapon. Now we need to expose these things. No, we don't need to expose them on spawn. We just need to make all of these. We need to make them public so that when we create weapons, we can just edit the class settings for them. Now the first thing that happens when the weapon gets constructed, we need to set our current ammo. In this game, we're going to do that. It's nice and simple. We're going to set our current ammo in the gun to our maximum amount of ammo in one clip. This way it will become 30 out of 30 or 10 out of 10 that you can shoot. Alright, now we're going to create a function and call this fire weapon. And when we fire a weapon, we're going to print a string. And we're going to say this bang. So when we fire, text color will be orange. Alright. So let's create a little weapon. So we're going to say right click and we're going to create a child blueprint and we're going to call this weapon 1. So we're going to open this up now, and you'll see it's inherited the mesh and the arrow, which is the muzzle. So now if we click on class settings, class defaults, here's our damage. So we're going to say this weapon does 80 damage per shot. It has a range of 5,000, has a max clip of 10, its shooting speed doesn't matter for now, and the current ammo it will get set afterwards. Great. So now we're going to need to find some sort of mesh for this. So let's see, what kind of things do we have? We have a pillar. Yeah, let's set this pillar here. Point to, I think that should work just fine. Rotate it 90 degrees. Compile. Now we're going to go back to the character. 1 second. There we go. I'm going to go back to the character. And we need to add this weapon. So we're going to add a component and call this, there's one specific one we're looking for. It is called child blueprint, child actor. Now this is going to be our weapon. It's attached to mesh, sure. Weapon active. We can have two. So for example, you can have one that's your secondary and one that's active. And that just switches the variables when you need them. But we're going to have one. So the child actor class will be weapon 1. This can obviously be set. Actually, let's do that. We're going to set it on construction. So on begin play, I'm going to grab this weapon active, set actor, set the class, and here we go. This is weapon 1. Compile. Now I'm also going to just add it in there for now so we can see what it looks like, because we need to change how it looks. Go reset that. Now I'm not going to attach it to the arm because that's going to cause accuracy issues with this animation. I'm just going to have it come out of his chest. So he has a chest cannon. Okay, fantastic. Control R. Don't do this on here. There we go. It's coming out of his chest. That is his weapon. Great. It looks great. Fantastic. I'm going to save. Go back to R. Control R. There we go. So now that he has some sort of weapon, we can actually clear this again, because we know that that's what it's going to look like when we start. Actually, one more thing while we are here. Remember, I did say that this camera will be our active camera. So there we go. Now that we're not going to have a weird glitch. There we go. Oh. What the hell? Oh, right. Always forget about this. Alright, so this static mesh, because it is a static mesh, it's trying to block our character. So I'm just going to say overlap all for now. That way we can actually move. So here's our weapon. It's in our chest. We can walk around with it. Fantastic. We can see it. Still in our chest. We can run. And it shakes with us. Cool. Can we make a grappling hook system? Yeah, that's possible. It's pretty possible. So let's get this shooting out of the way. So this is a camera switch. So let's comment that out. So camera switch. Now let's create the firing mechanism. So here, settings, project settings. I suggest just pinning the project settings right there. That's just going to be the easiest way to do it. Action mappings, and this will be fire. And this is left click, left mouse button. Alright, save. We need the controller. So here is on fire. We're going to grab our main player reference. Going to get weapon. There it is at the bottom. Get the weapon active. Now here we need to get child actor. So this entire little piece actually gets what is attached to our chest, and then we need to cast it. Actually, we might not have to. Let's try it without a cast. Fire. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to cast it. Cast to. Now, the thing is, we might have made the thing that's attached to us weapon 1, but we actually need to cast to the weapon master blueprint. So when we press it, this is to pure cast. You could technically save this as well in the beginning, but you don't need to, because this will be changed if you're changing weapons. So as this, we're going to then say fire weapon. Alright, fantastic. So grab all this. Fit that in here. Can we do it? Yeah, we can. Cool. So now that we can fire the weapon, we compile and press play. Now when we shoot, you can see bang, 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 bang. So let's change this up a little bit. So now we say bang. Then I want to print another string. And here I want to append so this will be a slash. Then we need our current ammo. There we go. Control drag to use it as a get. Okay, current ammo to the weapon max clip. So what this does is we're just building up a little string to do some debug info. So there we go. This will now print our ammo that is in the weapon. But we first need to actually minus it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab current ammo and then just minus minus and decrement the float. Fantastic. Then we can print the string. Save, compile, play. So there we go. 9 out of 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, as you can see, once we hit 0, we start to go into the negatives. That is obviously bad. So instead of firing straight away, let's do a check. So we do a branch, if true. If false, we're going to print a string and say clip empty. Reload. So this will be our false statement. Clip is empty, you got to reload. Now, what do? We get the current ammo, and we need to check if it is bigger than 0. If our current ammo is bigger than 0, that means that we have at least 1 bullet. Fire the weapon. Fantastic. So 9, 10, 8, 9, 6, 5, 4, 0. That means no more ammo in the clip. Clip empty. Reload, 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 reload. Great. Fantastic. I'm thinking of maybe just detaching this from the mesh. Definitely. It still does it. Seriously? That should not be doing it. Oh no, that's just the camera doing it. Okay, never mind. That's just now the camera running in. Because if we just detach it, as you can see, it stays perfectly straight. Fantastic. So we got the firing part done. Well, at least the debug information. So let's actually do some actual firing. How about that? So when we press it, it's going to show us the debug information, and then it's going to do a raycast. You can type raycast, but it's actually line trace by channel. Now, the line trace by channel, we're going to be going from camera. The reason I added that barrel in the Weapon Master blueprint, I'll change it here though. So here is our arrow. We need to move it to where the front of the gun is, so where you want to fire things from. So this is where our raycast will begin. Save. So here, we now grab arrow, get location. We get the world location for this. And that is our start location. Now, if we get the world location, then get no, we need to get the rotation. Get rotation. We get the world rotation, then we need that forward vector. Then we're gonna have to times it by your range, weapon range, times it by the weapon range. Alright, then what we need to do is we actually need to grab this and say plus. No, isn't? Yeah, it will be plus. Probably, no, this is a vector as well. Shit. Plus vector, vector plus vector. And this is actually the same as saying what is the weapon range units more than where we're shooting from. Now we want to draw the debug for the duration. As you can see, so now this is directly where we're looking. We are this is directly where the gun is pointing. So we actually can't shoot down onto the floor at the moment. We can only shoot straight because our cannon. Oh yes, we didn't set up reload. Because our cannon only is looking straight. Now the way you can change this is animations really, or you can technically attach this to the camera. So let's just attach it to the camera for a second. So weapon active, we're gonna add it to, oh shit. We have two. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna change, instead of where the arrow is, oh shoot, how are we gonna do this now? Because we don't have a way to have the character look up and down with the cannon. Okay, let's just attach it to, let's attach it to the camera for now. There we go. So now it can shoot up and down. But now the question is, will it? No, it will still shoot. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I know how we can do it. We're going to detach it from the weapon. On begin play, I'm going to set the actor. And then I want to actually attach it. Weapon active. I want to attach to component. No. Attach to. Okay, we're gonna grab get camera. There was a way to get the active camera. Get here. Get active camera. Oh my goodness. What was the way to get the camera? Get active camera. Get active camera. Okay, well, actually no, we know that because we're starting the game with the main camera being active, we can just attach it to them. So attach to component. This is, okay, there we go. So we're going to attach the weapon. Oh, that is very strange. Attach parent. Aha, there we go. Attach to parent. That was very confusing. Okay, fantastic. Compile. Now, when we change, we're going to have to do a couple more things here. Just one second. I'm going to take a quick break for a second. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's quickly sort out this camera switch then. So I'm gonna grab this, comment this, and fire weapon. I'm gonna drag this down because we actually need a lot more space now. Because this is not just a simple switch cameras anymore, we need to, let's see. I'm gonna quickly disconnect this and this. So now we're gonna do a little thing here. So it's gonna do a sequence of things. So hold S, drag it out, create a sequence. So first it will switch these two cameras using ISA. Alright. Then it will change what the what the weapon is attached, what camera the weapon is attached to. This is a lot easier if you just use animations, but I'm not going to do animations now. It's actually probably going to be easier to do. Fine, I'll do it next time. Alright, so once we have set the cameras as active, we then need to change what the weapon is attached to. So then we do this, we get weapon active, somewhere here, there it is. Now we need to attach to component, attach this component to another scene component. Great. So now we need to have a little branch. So if we need to attach this component to our third person camera. Else we attach this component. Need to make just a little adjustment so we can see the script a bit better. There we go. Else we attach this to there we go. Otherwise we attach it to there. So let's press play now. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Quickly attach this to FPS camera. Where is it? Still there? Okay, there we go. So it's done a little bit stupid in this sense, but it does work. As I said, this is a lot better to do with animations. Basically, what you would do is instead of having your character just have it attached to your chest, for example, it will be attached to your arms. And then in your animation blueprint, you would actually, the direction that you're looking, you would bend your character's spine, which is attached to, well, which the arms are attached to. And once you bend that spine, the arms will go up, and so will the weapon. If that makes sense to you guys. I'll try and get animation pack, one of the freebie ones, and get that set up for you for the next time. Then we can get the proper weapon set up as it's supposed to be. Let's put it that way. Alright, what is the time? It is 9 o'clock. Oh, I'm really hungry. Okay, cool. We're up to 4.5 viewers. That doesn't make... Oh, just 4. Alright, fantastic. So now we have some firing going. So let's do some damage. How about that? Alright, so let's quickly clone this. No, we're not going to clone the box. We're going to create a new folder and call this enemies. We're going to have the super evil cubes. Cube. Target. The super evil cubes will be attacking our planet. Now, what do we need? We need to create a static mesh. Mesh. Not mesh. Mesh. There we go. Mesh. Cube. Super evil. Super fantastic. 0.5 is what it should be. Great. Now we need to give it a variable of health. This is a float. Compile. Its default health is, let's say, 200. Save. We create a function called check death. On death, we're going to say if health bigger, less or equal to 0, condition true, then this will spawn emitter at location. Get a reference to self. We need to get our location. Get world location. Get world location of the default scene root, which is our actual entire character. Now that we will create what shall we create? Explosion. Great. Then we want to destroy actor, and then it will destroy itself. If false, nothing happens. Alright, so now how do we trigger this check death? So in our weapon master blueprint, we do this line trace. So if we right click, we can split the hit pin. Now we're going to do a branch. The first thing we're going to check is this out hit actor is valid. So this will be the first thing we do. So we're going to check, is this thing valid? This will almost all the time, it will return true. Next thing I want to see is, even though it's valid, is it equal? So does it equal to our cube target? Well, this will be our enemy. Basically, how you'd want to do is you'd want to create, just as we did for the weapon blueprint, you want to create an enemy master blueprint and go from there. But I'm just going to create cube targets. And if you had the enemy master blueprint, you'd put that in there now instead. So this will be the next one. So if the target is valid that we hit, and it is a cube, then you want to cast to cube target, or your master blueprint for your enemy. And like I said, in my case, this is my master blueprint. Then as cube target, you want to check death. Alright. If it failed, you want to print a string because you want to always debug. Failed to cast. I do know that this does not always cast. Bang, bang, right? So we actually need to place it in the world now. Okay, now cube target. I just want to do one quick thing. I want to move this up to the floor. Compile. We press play. There it is. Let's see if we can hit it. Bang. Okay. Bang. Bang. So that's 3, 4, 5. Huh. So we're actually not seeing if it's doing it. Okay, let's print another string. Not valid. Unless they changed how this not valid works. Bang, bang. Okay. So let's do another string here. Just call this valid. Let's just see where it's erroring out. Okay, it is valid. Okay, so it is valid. So the validation is fine. It's checking, does it equal to the branch target? So copy this. Not cube enemy. Enemy. Not cube enemy. That's not right. Out hit actor equals cube target. Alright, let's try just actor. No, shit, that won't work. Okay, that's fine. Just true this all the time for now. Let's just see. This should bang, 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 bang. Check death. Check death. Oh yes, we don't actually do any damage to it. Check death. Okay, so now that we know it's hitting, we're going to do the check death. But we first need to grab this and say health. Set the health to the current cube health. So we now need to get health. This way it gets very messy. Get the health minus the weapon damage. But don't worry, you can always sort this out later. This is where I start to get lazy and not sort things out. Okay, so now check on death. I actually want to say, if it's false, I want to print a string and just yell, ouch. Ouch. Okay. Bang. Check death. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It explodes. And dies. Great. So now, shall we make them move? I think we should make them move. So this is going to be basically the exact same thing. I wonder if we can add move. Okay, we actually can't add a movement component. So we're going to have to quickly recreate this. So let's do blueprint class character. And this will be our enemy MVP. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys remember why I'm doing this. It's so that we can just very easily grappling hooks so the player will fly like Spider-Man. Ooh, I've actually never played with Ragdoll's X Dragon, so to be honest, I can't tell you I'll be able to do that. If you can give me like a couple of weeks, maybe I can play with the Ragdoll physics, try and figure that out. But I'm pretty sure it's possible. I had that sort of idea before, but I never really had enough time to sit down and actually figure it out. So in our little thing, we create a static mesh. This will be our super evil cube for now. Well, this is on our parent blueprint. Let's just add the cube so we can see it. Great. So these are our enemies. They're floating cubes, 0.5. We can give them like a cool little animation where they actually are floating. There's like a spring here, isn't? No. Okay. We'll do it in. There was a way you can do it. There was a way. Enable gravity. What if we do something like this? So the jump velocity, um, air control will be 1. The lateral friction will be will be 300. Now I want to force the jump. I want to see what happens if we force the jump on this enemy blueprint. I guess that's okay. What do you guys think? I think that's okay. Well, for now at least. Let's bring this up a bit maybe. Try that. Too fast still. I want it to be more. Oh wait. Easy. 420. Gravity scale 0.2. And the jump velocity we put it at like 120. Okay, so that's a little bit lower. So do 300. Try that. Yeah, okay, that's getting a bit better. Do 150. And 150. Air control. Let's see. We can probably add more here. Make this 100. 100. I just want to see if we can slow him down. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so now let's quickly change this to, as I said before, we need to make sure that this is actually not going to be casting to the cube target anymore. This is going to cast to our enemy master blueprint. Okay. Cast failed as enemy. Delete that and that. Now we need to give this health, float, compile. Health, set the health. Get the health. So this we're just changing our little system to go to more of our more advanced blueprint in the sense that we can just make children of it. So yeah, we're not going to make them jump all the time. So let's create this function, call it check def. Now, actually, we should have kept that open. So we can just copy this, copy, and paste. Compile. Okay, it will not find the default scene route. So self get location, world location. There we go. We just have to change a couple of things. Fantastic. Compile. So this should now work. Oh shit. Weapon blueprint. Where's the check death? Yes, of course. Check death. Play. What happened? Access 9 trying to read the property. Try again. Okay. What? What is happening? That jump. This cube as well. What is happening? Where is my damn weapon? Something's happening. Attempts to access the missing property using current ammo, weapon blueprint, assign. Huh. Did something change here? Compile? Compile? Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we've destroyed him. But this is the reason why, is because we're using the enemy master blueprint. So let's remove the static mesh from here. Compile. Now we want to make, I'm going to delete this cube target. Yeah, sure, force to delete. Dun, 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 dun. I don't like how the force delete closes everything. Anyway, so now we're going to create the child blueprint and call this our death cube. Great. So now I'm going to open it up. It's going to open up on my other screen. So here we go. Here's our static mesh. We're going to make it cube. Great. It is now going to do that jump velocity. Fantastic. Now our class settings. No, class defaults. Our health is at 300. And on the event graph, parent tick, and at the same time as jump. So the cube will always jump. Now, what does this mean for us? Well, we have a cube. That's cool and all. We're just going to keep on jumping there like a moron. So we're going to shoot it a couple of times. It'll explode. Fantastic. So that's all fine and great. But now, how do we make cubes spawn? So let's do it simple way. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a volume. Let's see. I'm going to make them come out of a box. Here we go. Add another one like so, and another one like so. Now copy these three. Remember, you can just hold Alt on something and create copies. I just realized I didn't actually have to delete that thing. So this is where they're going to come out of. Great. So now here we're going to add a little something. It really doesn't matter what we add. It can actually be literally anything. So let's just add an empty actor. I think it's going to go to the floor. Now we need to blueprint or add a script, and this is going to be called create enemies. Actually, enemy spawn manager. Okay. This will be under live blueprints enemies enemy spawn manager. So now what does this do? Well, pretty simple really. All this is going to do is it's going to spawn our enemies for us to shoot at. So there's one more thing I want to do before we actually call this one day. So we're going to do the spawning and the reloading so that we can do that, and then a score. So let's see. So now what do we need to do this? Well, we're going to do a function. I need a function and call this get random time. So we're going to get just a random. Actually, I'm going to do a random integer. maximum of 5 seconds. No, not 5 seconds. Let's do 10 seconds. Alright, so maximum of 10 seconds. Return. Return node. That's random time. Now, this might be useless for now, but I want to do it as OOP as possible. In-game shop to buy weapons, ammo. We can do that probably pretty quickly as well, with points that we can do. So we'll have like a little point thing, and then you go up to something, interact with it, it gives you ammo. Yeah, let's do that as well. Alright, so here we go. We got the random timer. Now we need function is spawn spawn enemy. So actually, I want to create another kind of enemy with a bit more health. So spawn enemy. So the first thing we need to do is create another function and get amount of enemies. So get amount of enemies. So this is going to get list. No, wait. This is get actors. Get all actors of class. Now, the reason we're doing this is we have our enemy master blueprint. Can this be up here? No. Great. So this gets all actors of class. We're going to need to get the length. So this will return the node, which is the length of enemies. Fantastic. This is enemy number. I know I keep misspelling enemy, but it's just better that way, okay? Great. So now when we want to spawn an enemy, we need to no, 1 second. Get amount of enemies. This is also pure. So when we want to spawn enemies, we want to have a branch. Then the condition is get amount of enemies. If this is bigger, no, if it's less or equal to, let's say, 10 enemies at a time. So there's more than 10 things, then we don't do anything. So if true, then that's too many enemies. So this is if the amount of enemies is less than 10, less or equal to than 10, then we can spawn actor from class. Now here we want to make array. Now get class no, get we need to get like a class. Let's see. Get components, so make array. Okay, I guess we could just input all the enemies here. So here will be get actor by. Huh? Really? How would I do this? Let me just think. Oh, easy. We make a variable and call. Oh no, we need a local variable. And this called is enemy list. So this is actually enemy master blueprint class, and it is an array. So here we go, death cube. So here we need to make another one, and we call this the sphere of doom, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Sphere of doom. So the static mesh will be literally a sphere, a nice and big one too. There we go, sphere of doom. It has health of 1000 because it is the sphere of doom. Hi sorcerer, how are you? There we go, the sphere of doom. So this will then be sphere of doom. So technically now We actually need to remove one of these. There we go. So the Sphere of Doom. So the enemy list, get this, and then we need to get select. Aha, here we go. No. How would we do this? Variables, utilities, array. Aha, that's how we can do it. Get. Okay, so now we do enemy list, length, integer, random integer, as that's the max. So get a random integer from there, spawn that class. The transform, we need to get self. Get a reference to self. My microphone, okay, it is still active. Self. Then what we want to do is get transform. Get the active transform. Return that. Always spawn. Ignore the collisions. So there we go. It spawns the enemy. Fantastic. It's a little bit messy, so let's just clear this up. There we go. Self. Get active transform. Self. Okay. So now, what do we do? On event tick, get delta, get world delta seconds. So get random time. Let me just think how this would be. So if delta seconds. Okay, so yeah, okay, so that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get delta seconds, get random time, spawn enemy. Here we need a delay. There we go. This is, we can technically return as a float, but there's no point. So then we spawn enemies. Great. So now, if we simulate this, there it is. Okay, now it's spawning them. Okay, fantastic. So now you did see that it was spawning them. Let's quickly do a couple more things. Create a material. This is main mat. I want to create a material instance as cube. Sphere. So main mat. Come on. Load up. Constant 3 vector. Sphere. Shoot, wait. It's, one second, I need to remember how it was done. Instance. There was a way to mark it. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna do it this way. So one will be red. Save. I really wish I could just get this instance thing to work. Welcome to the channel, by the way, Sorcerer. Yes. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna do this. Main material. This and this. Delete. Duplicate mainnet 1. Make this color pink or whatever. Yes, the sphere of doom shall be pink. Sphere of pink, sphere of pink. Main mat. There goes sphere of doom. Mat 1. Okay, fantastic. So now we can close this and that. In the event graph, we're also going to make this thing jump because it's fun to shoot at things that actually move. Alright, so spawn enemies. Now the random time, random integer in range. I want a minimum of 3 seconds, maximum of 10. I just realized we can have very, very, very bad times if that happens. There we go, that's the 1 cube. But it spawns it. Okay, that's fine. We just need to adjust the way it spawns. So spawn enemy. Try to adjust location. There we go. File. Let's try that again. I just want to see if it'll adjust the location of that cube now. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now what do? Let's do some AI shit. AI. So what do we need for AI? 3 things. We need a behavior tree, enemy behavior tree. Then we need a blackboard, enemy blackboard. And we need blueprint class, all classes, AI controller. Enemy AI controller. Great. All misspells aside, let's carry on. So, first of all, let's start with the enemy AI. Let's quickly change our master blueprint. We'll have to have the AI controller class as enemy AI controller, or to possess if it's spawned. Then, perfect. Compile. So on here, we're going to say use behavior. Okay, wait, no, it's black. Behavior tree. God damn it. 1 second, let me just quickly load this up. Man, I always struggle with the AI stuff. So on begin play, we need to get blackboard, set black. Okay, we're gonna find out now when the secondary project loads. So while that's happening, let's see what's happening in chat. So the in-game shop to buy weapons ammo. Yeah, we can do that. The sorcerer says hi. Nothing new. Very quiet chat today. Let's quickly check if the project is loading. Yeah, it is. Okay, while we do that, I'm gonna try and remember how to do this. Unreal Engine 4. Where's that? Where is the thing that I used last time? There we go. AI and behavior trees documentation. 1 second. Let me just find while this is loading. Behavior tree. There we go. Character blueprint. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, we got that. Oh, that's what it really is. It that easy? Really? Was I just typing the wrong thing? No. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Okay, never mind, that's why it wasn't working. Use Blackboard. That's better. So if you guys remember, there's the enemy Blackboard. Then we need to run the behavior tree. Run behavior tree. There it is. Behavior tree is our behavior tree. Fantastic. Compile. So when the AI will spawn, it will run the behavior tree and we will go from there. What about a wind system that affects objects like trees, grass, water? Alright, so that's actually to do with materials, and I am very clueless with materials. The wind systems, yeah, it's mostly your material. It's actually an offset in the materials. I have actually, like I said, I'm more of a programmer. I don't do the artistic kind of stuff. Um, I can get a system going, and that will be the like the prototype, and then the artists can add things onto it. That's my one problem, is I'm very not artistic in that sense. Mm, organic, organic shapes and things. I struggle with a lot. So, but it is done. It's in materials. There's one thing called material offset. I just honestly don't want to lie to you about how to use it. But there's lots of people that have done that. I'm pretty sure you can find a tutorial on YouTube that will teach you pretty quickly. Alright, so let's get the AI going. What do we need? AI. So here we go. The Blackboard. So what we need is a new key, and this is actually a vector. And this is the player location. Alright. Well, that's basically it. Not much else to it. To the Blackboard. So, okay, so what this is, the Blackboard is like, it's a set of keys that basically, it's a set of keys, like keywords that you can use in the behavior tree. So for example, here we're going to have a sequence. So there's a difference. I'll actually show you composite selector. And okay, so a sequence will run the AI code that you put in sequence. And did you do the shop system? I will do the shop system after I get the AI to come after you, so that we can start getting the point system in. So as I was saying, the sequence will take a piece of code, the first piece of code, like for example, this sequence will run the selector, and if the selector fails, it will rerun the selector. But if it passes, then it will run the simple parallel. Now, a simple parallel, you can run two children. You run a task, and then you run a selector or a sequence, and so on and so on. So you basically just continue going with this. Now, the selector will execute things left to right, and will stop when one of its children succeeds. We don't need that. We need a selector, a sequence. So, what happens with this? Well, we need to create a couple of things. So we're going to create a task, and this is, you'll see it will create it right here. So I'm going to make a folder and call this tasks, and rename this immediately. This is our random weight task. Task. Okay, so this is our random weight task. I'm going to move that. Now, the reason we need a random weight task is there is a weight script in here, but it doesn't do what we need it to do. So, execute, event receive, execute AI. This is the start, like a begin play kind of thing for the script with AI. So, let's do the following. So now what we need is a variable, and this will be our location. No, this is actually, we don't need that. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to wait. Actually, yeah, it would set a wait. second. Let's see. I forget how this was done. So tasks wait. Yeah, so there is a wait time. Wait, AI wait. Really? Is it just using that? Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, okay. So it will be task wait. So this will be random float. But actually not, because you need variable. So this will be min wait time and max wait time. These will be floats, pile time is random in range, min, max. Fantastic. So now we have that task wait, and then on finish, finish execute. There we go. And it will have a success. We're not going to have it as a fail ever. It will always get the time, it will wait, and it will carry on. So that's the first thing we need. So now tasks, random wait task. Fantastic. That's done. The next thing what we want to do is we want to find where is the player. So this is going to be a very simple AI. All it's going to do is it's going to say, actually wait, no, when it spawns, it's going to move to a random location. So tasks, move to, and I actually want to move this to like 1000, and the player location, actually, yeah, okay, so we're going to have to make a task for this as well. So this is first move, so this is execute AI. So we actually can add a blackboard key vector, and this will be random location. So what this does is it says, hey, get a random location. I need to rename this task and move it. I really wish you could define where these things go. It says get random location. Okay, so basically what this does is it's going to get a random location on the map. So get random reachable point in navigatable radius origin. We're going to get the controlled pawn, get location. That will be our origin. The radius will be 1000. Nav data. Well, I mean, yeah, the nav data should find itself. I mean, yeah. And filter, that's fine. We don't need a filter. So random location. Then we need variable, and this will be our random location. This is a blackboard key selector. So now you want to get, then set the value as a vector. There you go, value, fantastic, save. And then you want to finish execute with a success. All right, so now where's the behavior tree? So the first thing we do is we get our get random location first. Okay, then we want to move to the random location, then the random wait task, and then we want to make another task and call this the get player location. So now this is going to get player location, tasks, move. All right, so now execute event receive execute AI. So now what we want to do is find actor get all actors of class, and this we need our main player. Now get in the 0 location, because we should be the only people on the map. No Siri. Alright, then we need to get location variables. This is our player location, and this is a Blackboard value. Okay, going to get that. Set value as vector. There we go. We have our location that we want to move to. Then we want to finish execute with a success. Now, that's done. So the next thing we're going to do is in this behavior tree. Here we go. So get the random location, move to it. Then we're going to wait a random amount of time that we specify. We should actually probably do this so we can change that in the actual tree. There we go. Minimum wait time will be 3 seconds. Maximum wait time will be 10 seconds, just like the spawning. So the random wait. Then we need to do a task of get the player location. Then we want to move to. Now we want to move within 500 units. Random location, player location, player location. All right. Fantastic. Now, here's one thing we need to do then. So it's going to do sequence. Yeah, okay. So now it's basically just going to wander around, get the random location, wander, move, continue. So let's press play and see what happens. So there should be an enemy spawning there anytime. There it is. He's jumping around. He isn't moving. Oh, that is right. Okay. So anybody know the issue? I can tell you the issue. Well, while we have AI, we don't actually have any sort of thing that tells the AI where the hell to go. So let's do that quick. Increase this. Go somewhere there. So I'm just going to say 10,000. 10,000 by 5,000. Okay, fantastic. Save. Now we're going to press play. So here's our little spawning house. He should move now. Okay, they might just be getting stuck in this. So let's quickly delete this. Just press play. Let's see if that does anything. I know that they could be getting stuck inside those boxes. Is he moving? No, they're not moving around. Okay, so the move is failing. Okay, I see. 100. Let's just see. So the move is failing. Okay, because it doesn't have nav data. Get. That. Nav data. Okay, so we need to actually provide it navigation data. Map find, I guess. Wildcard, let's try that. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Okay, fine. Get random point. Okay, no, that's still doing it. Get random point. What is the difference? Get radius. Why is it not doing it then? Oh wait, maybe we can just call the nav data. Nav nav navigation data. Huh. I never actually had to do this before. Navigation data. Get random and reachable point and radius. Nav data. Class object default is not allowed. That is very strange. I've never had this happen before. Alright, anyways, let's try this again. I guess we can just check immediately. I'm just going to drag this over here. Nope, failing. Okay, so let's do it a different way then, because this is not working, unless we just need to build first. Let's try build, see what happens. Oh, goodness, it's already almost time to go. Let this build happen. Navigation building completed. Okay, that's all we care about. Oh. Son of a bitch. There we go. Alright. Simulate. Yeah, it's definitely not going. Oh, get random location. Okay, wait. Let's just do this then. Get in. Really? Navigate. How do we pass that nav data? I don't actually know. Let's quickly check if we can see it here. How to pass nav data to Unreal Engine 4. Okay, 1 second. I'm just quickly looking where this. Why is this not working? Damn it, they changed this so much. It's not even in the documentation. Nav mesh bounds volume. So this should have made a nav mesh. But where? Ah, here we go. Okay, so it's called recast nav mesh default. I guess let's try that. See if we can find it. Recast nav. Um, get random location. Just let's try get reachable. Get random point in navigatable radius. Radius 1000 units. Filter class. That. Try that. Compile. Simulate. This should work now. Unless there's still something wrong. Yep, still failing. That's very strange. Because I don't actually know why. Why do they want that? We have the navigation data there. Guys, am I missing something? Because usually the navigation data gets passed. Try none. Compile. So he spawns. He doesn't move. Get random. Get nav. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. I'm gonna. Really? Sorry, not gonna. Get navigation system. Okay, I guess we can get the data from here. Get random retrieval point and radius. No. Maybe we need the owner controller get random serious short pawn get no. Owner controller get nav. Oh, okay, so that's probably where it is. Get get. Come on, you're getting annoying. Navigation data reference. Never had this before. Navigation data reference. Maybe if we set navigation system. That does that make sense? Get a navigation system or navigation system. Get. Yeah, I guess let's try this. Maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. Let's try it. I kind of wish I should have made like a force spawn button. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Okay, no, that's not working. Damn, how do I get random? Okay, wait 1 second. Get random point in navigatable radius. EU4. Let's see. Subscribe and get different patches, blah blah blah. They don't even provide nav data. Maybe it's not needed. Okay, it doesn't look like it's needed. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's needed. So then why am I struggling? Get random. Unless this could be the other issue. P. Navigation. No, they should be able to navigate just fine. Unless, no, it's not navigating. It's not affecting navigation. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna do it like this. Move to. Class. There. Try that. Let's just keep trying and see what happens. Honestly, I don't know what's happening. Why it's doing this. It's very annoying. Because I'm spending too much time on this AI shit. I don't know how high they'll stack up. Okay, just adjust. Let's go destroy this red cube, see what happens. That's actually pretty cool. I just wish it would work like I want it to work. Set the blackboard and go. Finish the execute. What is so difficult? Okay, get active location. Now I want get vector in get random vector. Random vector. Just why is this not working? AI navigation. Reachable radius. Find me something. Genius from Brushhook. Ha ha. I should say. No, AI is not listening to me. Okay, I'm gonna remove that then. And disconnect. No. That's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna wander around towards you. As soon as they spawn, they're gonna go towards you. Is he coming? Maybe they can't move while jumping. Why are you not going to me? Let's see. Move to the player location. Are they literally retarded? Like they cannot move. try to do a jump quick. Jump search net. Okay, master blueprint for the enemy, character movement. I'm just gonna quickly switch off the jumping, see if that does anything. The sphere of doom, don't jump, and the death cube, don't jump. Press play. Okay, so they just can't move one when they're jumping, I guess. There we go. Now they're starting to do their shit. Come on, random weight. Oh shoot, there's another one there. Okay, it looks like they just move once though. No, leave me alone. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there should be only one more. Okay, 10. No, they keep spawning. This is way too many people. Oh no, 11 is right. 11 is right. So if I was to take out that one, another one should spawn. There we go. Okay, cool. So now that's working. Now there's just one more thing we need to do, and that is try to reattach these. So it looks like AI can't pathfind if they're jumping around. Let's see if this works then. I don't think it works. Yeah, okay, so one of these tasks is not working, which is fine. I'll figure that out some other time. So we get the player location, we move to it, random weight task. Actually, this should probably... Let me quickly do one thing. Let me press play. I'm going to drag this over here. Then we go to the blueprint tree. Random weight. Oh, random weight. Let it fail. Delay. That's what it is. It's because of the delay. There we go. Completed, then you succeed. So now it should work. Now they should constantly be moving around towards you. There is a way that like they can actually sense you and then they move towards you when they sense you. So right now this is in the same mode as that's where they last saw you. There we go, now they're moving. So yeah, let's say next time, so on Friday, I'm going to say on Friday night, we add the UI, the reload, the score, the shop, and the weapon, proper weapon movement, because this is just bothering me. And then we also add slightly better AI, where they actually sense you, and they take advantage of that. So they'll sense you, and then they'll follow you around until they no longer sense you. All right, so I will upload the files if you guys would like me to onto a Dropbox or something. Just let me know in comments. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Unfortunately, I ran out a little bit out of time, so actually I ran a little bit over time again. So I will be back on Friday. I'm going to schedule the thing right now for Friday, and I'll check you guys then. Finish this little part off, and then we can continue with whatever else we need to add. We'll probably add more diverse enemies, add some more scoring, better UI, all that kind of stuff. Alright, so if you joined, thank you for joining. I will see you guys soon, or on Friday. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.